welcome PocketWatch here, and it's about time for another episode of Dies Irae. Let's continue the story. And I think, I said it before that I think we're getting close to the end, but I still think we're getting close to the end. I don't know, am I still halfway? I really think, every time I'm starting recording, I'm thinking oh, this is going to be the last episode. When this ends, it feels like it wants to end, but it cannot. How many things can be unveiled? Well, I guess we will just continue. So let's just go. We'll see. Maybe this episode, maybe next episode, we're back with Mercurius shenanigans. So let's go. What nice weather. The sky is so clear and blue. Oh wait, that's not Mercurius shenanigans? Wait. They load. Wait, I remember I had Mercurius shenanigans, I think. Oh, wrong load. Okay. I bid you welcome, Methuselah. So we did meet again. Yep. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh. What's this outfit? It doesn't look like Mercurius. It has long hair like Mercurius, but it doesn't feel like Mercurius. What? Who is this? Does Mercurius have gloves like this? No, that's like a bow or something. What? Who is that? The person said that to me with nothing but a sense of hospitality in the mannerism. Okay. No, he wasn't speaking to me, but the person dwelling within me. I was merely seeing glimpses of his memories. Yeah, okay. That's Methuselah talking with Mercurius, but... Is it really Mercurius? I feel confused. I wouldn't think this outline is Mercurius at all. Oh yeah, you said the whole name in the comments of this guy before. I don't know, how is that not even a meme? This was a dream I saw not through my own, Claudia Rezolam's eyes, but through his. Wait. It's Claudia streaming from Ludwig's perspective? Is that supposed to be Claudia's shadow? What? It was a dream about wandering the world far too many years to count. I've been seeing them this whole week, and this was just another one. Wait, she can invade Methuselah's head and see glimpses of his past? What is happening? Does she feel sorry for him? That he lives for so long and stuff? That's why she's so close to him? Or something?
癖かと言われれば確かにそうだな。説明すると長くなるが、私はあらゆる局面において物事を試さずに折れないのだよ。
So I need to change configuration once again. I will just cut here so we have the same volume of things, but my eardrums are going to be destroyed by the volume of music. I don't know why. I don't even change anything, and somehow it feels like I just cannot do this today. So 1 second. Okay, hopefully it's better.
御身との関係もその一環だ。私の投じた一石により、そちらの選択が未知なる景色を描いてくれれば良いと願う。ゆえに、さあメトシェラよ。私を探していたという理由を聞かせてもらいたい。
He'd been told what kind of being he was, became aware that he would travel until the world until it ended, and that it would happen sooner than later. Because of that, he sought meaning to life, something he could proudly point at as the worth of his existence, so he would be blessed with the satisfaction that came alongside it. In that way, he was much like me. So she sympathized with him. This is very interesting that she sees his perspective, even though she was never there at that point. She have no connection to Mercurius or Methuselah, and she still can see this. What is happening? This must be Mercurius shenanigans. He must have done something.
お前の元を訪れたのはその報告と若干の協力を願うためだ、推議。
Okay.
大それたものは必要ないのだ。些細な取り回しに関する知識だけを賜りたい。
ほう。つまり御身は私に教えを請いに来たと。
He was seeking something else, and magic was but the means to the end for him. In other words, magic was absolutely necessary for him to fulfill his desire. But what was it? What kind of salvation did he seek? The answer was very concise and simple.
伴侶だよ。
Okay.
私はつがいを求めている。
And he thinks that for some reason Claudia is the partner for him, even though she's going to die in a month. Or not, because she can regenerate or something, I don't know.
すなわち、対の存在が欲しいのだ。このまま終わりの時までたった一人。
Opposite, okay, yeah, makes sense.
何とも交われずに去っていくのは耐えられない。私は彼女のためにあったのだと。闇は単体である限り意味をなさず、虚無に過ぎない。
そして逆もまた真なりと。
その通りだ。私は光の御子を求め、欲し、それと添い遂げることで生涯に意義を得る。この身は苦音の長きにわたり、ただ一人の闇だった。よって私のつがいとなるのは、月のごとき儚い光ではありえない。清烈で、正常で、命の惨禍をまばゆく体現する無休の太陽。闇を知り、私を許し、されど絶対的に昇華する輝きの魂たるもの。
And thus, like saints sending out a prayer, he'd sworn to find such an entity.
であれば御身、私に探索を手伝ってほしいのか？
いいや、そうした必要は求めていない。言っただろう。光と闇をつなぐ因果は強固で深く、自然摂理の相関だと。
I mean, if it's light and darkness, you can say it's also low balance.
故に私が自覚を持って動く以上、自然に引き合い、出会うはずだ。そこに疑いは持っていない。私がお前に求めるものは、伴侶を延命させる手段。
Oh, so Mercurius May actually did something to Claudia. So these regenerative powers are from Mercurius then? Those words made me gasp. Could he have been him? In that case, the light he spoke of could be, yeah, you, Claudia.
なぜなら、私の願いは伴侶と出会うことではない。伴侶と終わりの日まで添い遂げることだ。
Mercurius knew Claudia for a while.
世界はもうすぐ死ぬという。
Actually, maybe not for a
それ
while.
は実際にそうなのだろう。だが、我々の尺度で語る長短に人の時間感覚を当てはめるのは正しくあるまい。
I don't know how far in the past is this dialogue happening. I think like it's one of the recent events because we still had like medical records for Claudia before, so she was like actually indeed dying, but she got better at some point. So this conversation happened somewhere before she miraculously got better. So Mercurius did like some his like magic shenanigans on her while when they came back from cutting. Interesting. So Claudia could be immortal, maybe? As well, like Methuselah? Then?
あと少し、もうわずか。そう言ってから生
Oh, okay.
命を持つことすら当たり前に予想できる。事実、先の階段から早200年を経ているのだから。人間ならば、3度は
Yeah.
死んでいる計算だろう。
確かに。御身の願い理解した。魔術を知りたいのはそのためか。メトシェラ殿は存在それ自体が神秘の塊と言ってよいゆえ、むしろ基礎を知らんのだな。鳥が空を飛ぶための手段と努力を下せぬのと同じ。己がごく自然に長命であるからこそ、短命に生まれついた者がどのようにして延命するのかは。
そういうことだ。して、いかに。
I was curious about the answer, but I didn't want to hear it. I felt like knowing it would take me past the point of no return. My instincts told me I would then learn the truth behind my abnormality in me.
私から享受することは何もない。御身は知っている
Interesting.
はずだ。初めて会った時のことをお忘れか？あの時こう言っていただろう。近く感じる概念を知り、真似事を試みたことも過去にあると。もう一度それをやればよい。
Ah. For example, the blood-sucking, lowly creatures spewing, ground-dwelling Naxrider, those who were buried too early, moving cadavers and the like. Oh, but there was only one thing it could have referred to.
私に再びまがいものの皮をかぶれとお前は言うのか。
おいては子に従えとも言うだろう。闇の神聖たる御身をもとに生まれた二次創作のごとく
Talking about the vampires, right?
そうバカにしたものでもない。彼らはメトシェラの子供なのだよ。そしてだからこそ私などから生病法を授かるよりは無理もないはず。不快であろうし窮屈でもあろうがね。
This is interesting. It's going to be conflicted within her. Like, she thinks that like she and Bey are like children of Noah. And now they're mentioning that she's a children of Methuselah. Child of Methuselah, right? Or actually Bey, not her, because they're talking about vampire. So Bey, children of Methuselah. And if she thinks like she's like Bey, then she will think that, oh, I am also children of Methuselah, then not the child of Noah. Because if Bey is not, then I am not. That's what she's going to think. I think. Probably.
何も最後まで被る必要はどこにもあるまい。伴侶たるものを変えてしまえばすでに用なし。よくできた子だったとねぎらいの一つでもかけた後に脱ぎ捨てればよいだろう。
The conversation made my throat feel muddling dry. A certain thing I wished to drink came to my mind, and I thought I'd go insane. Did he like actually transform her into vampire or something? Is she actually like Bey now? Do Methuselah have like powers to transform people? My neck was so hot and troubled violently that I liked the answer. I unwillingly scratched it before taking off the bandages covering it. What the fuck? Oh, she just got this vision from while she was running from Bey. Oh, Jesus. Oh, what happens? It's not because of her illness. It's something that Ludwig did. Or Mercurius. I'm not sure which one anymore. Probably Ludwig. What? My exposed neck had inflamed, messy wound on it. It looked akin to a bite from a beast. In the way, it felt indecent, and it was the proof that fangs had pierced into me. What? Oh! There are like two from fangs! Wait. Does that mean that, like, Ludwig can change himself? Like, in terms of, like, Evocate that Mercurius is giving, he didn't give any Evocate to Ludwig, basically, because, well, Ludwig has his own, like, arcane powers and stuff, right? So, Ludwig is, in a sense, like, transcendent type? And he can transform himself? So he transformed himself into vampire and at some point sucked the blood out of, like, Claudia and made her vampire so she can, like, live forever with him? What kind of messed up thing is this? Is that what happens? Huh? It pulsated and wriggled like the second heart. I'm so confused about what happened. I think I'm on spot what I just said, but why did it take me so long to notice such an abnormality? Because I didn't want to worry him? Because he would have gotten mad at me? Or was it because I didn't think it was serious? No, I definitely knew it. But even so, I'd kept it hidden. And I was one right now. And I was in one right now. I was awaited their arrival, and was even averse to waking up. Secretly, but with certainty, I'd accepted the changes and anticipated the future that awaited beyond them. For whatever reason, I believe the swelling feelings and uncontrollable torrents of emotions would definitely lead me to the sanctuary. And if that was the result, then, dear Lord, what a sinful creature I've become. Did she actually become vampire? So, if she actually, she doesn't have, like, fangs yet, probably, or something. Like, is it possible that she's, like, more vampire than Bey? Like, she's, like, all natural, I would say, right? And Bey is just because of his Evocate powers. Only when he's, like, using his third degree. I ran and dashed to escape the embarrassment, but I knew it was actually heading for something as well. I was being called. I could hear a voice beckoning me closer. What? Before me I saw nothing but the boundless, profound, pure dark. So she's like a familiar now? Like, Methuselah is like the main vampire and she's like the offspring of the vampire and she have to do whatever he wants. That's why she was like so conflicted, but she still said what he wanted before when they were talking with Bey, because he can command her basically. What the fuck? And I felt like I was flying into its arms.
いいだろう。それが最も理にかなっているなら嫌はない。愛する者のためならば汚れも私は厭わぬさ。どうした？何を笑っている？
いや何、やはり似た者同士だと思ってね。私もつい先日だが、私の目を見出したのだよ。
True.
彼女のために全てを捧げると誓ったのさ。求める結末は少々御身と違うがね。まあ些細なことだ。ともかく応援させてもらおう。
From like Dies Irae perspective, I wonder how many times like the story repeated itself from Mercurius' perspective, and this situation happened like multiple times already with like different outcomes. I wonder. Because if Mercurius resets everything, then he also resets Methuselah, right? So he still have like this encounter over and over. I wonder how many times it happened and what outcomes were there.
さあこれを祝いの品だ。近く現れるだろうメトシェラの花嫁へと。
Okay. I couldn't tell what it was that he gave him.
受け取るがよい。きっと似合うと私は知
It will look splendid on her. Okay, that's something for Claudia.
そうだな。あ
However, I clearly understood that it had something to do with me.
あ、核のごとし、聖なる光に私は会いたい。
I shouted, denying it with all I was, but it didn't even feel like the words I sang were my own. The pulsation around my neck were dragging me into the dark.
そんな大それた評価いらないから。
I merely loved the light, wanted to touch it, and perhaps even grant it. It was all there was to it. I pled for him to return me to what I was. Yo. The answer that materialized itself as dark wings that embrace the entirety of my being. I think I need to cut. Okay, it will take longer break than I thought, but I'm back. Hopefully. Let's continue. Yet the answer that materialized itself as dark wings that embrace the entirety of my being. Even the subtle pain running in my neck. Oh. Oh!
共に行こう。終わりの日まで。
That's some fancy shot of Ludwig. I slowly disappeared into the whirling torrents of darkness. It was deep, profound, and endless, much like eons he'd walked. Oh. I'd completely lost sight of Claudia, and was pretty much at loss. But then I finally realized something obvious. The places she would go in the town were limited. As long as she didn't just lose her mind and start running around blindly, then she'd probably stick to the places she knew. She's probably at the church, isn't she? Hell, even if she did go nuts, she'd picked her destination subconsciously. There was only one place that could mind. I turned around and began running straight to the cathedral. Yep. It wasn't even 3 minutes away from me, so I figured I'd catch her in no time. That's what really mattered, was what came after that. I had no focus on what I'd do after I found her. Specifically, I had figured out the one thing that I actually wanted to do, and then give my all. After briefly thinking it through, I came up on the one thing. What circumstances I thought made her go for my blood didn't matter in one bit. That was the first thing I'd had care about. The thing is, she'd run away because she thought it would be it was shameful. Clearing up that misunderstanding was way more important. After all, if there was one thing I knew well since I was a brat, Claudia had to stop acting so fucking innocent. She was basically the apex of the bothersome virgins. Why the fuck would anyone get frustrated about a piece of shit doing something shitty? She did say something about not seeing herself as a big deal, but the sentiment clearly wasn't strong enough. She was still bothered by the appearances and all that crap. I wouldn't be disappointed if she showed me her dirtiest, more sinful sides. Like, if she really wanted to teach me love, then... Nice. Okay. What we're going to see in the cathedral. I had to tell her that no matter what, mastering my determination, arrived at the cathedral and kicked the door open. However, what I saw there was... Oh! Oh, he really did turn into vampire. Oh. Oh. There were two intertwining silhouettes before the altar. One of them was Claudia, staring blankly into the space with dull eyes and a slightly twitching chin. The other was Ludwig, embracing and practically falling into her while burying his face in her neck. What the fuck was he doing to her? The scene was so simple and obvious that I actually found it hard to understand. I stood in place as Claudia's body lightly shook. A drop of blood leaked out of her neck and fell to the floor. It took only a moment, but it felt like an eternity. Jesus! He slowly raised his face and looked me into the eye. He grinned, giving me a glimpse of his bloody fangs. At that moment, my limited silver strength was shattered into dust. Yeah. A bestial roar, imbued with magical power, I was strong enough to shatter the cathedral interior and form a brief storm of broken flooring and poos. I had never snapped this badly. I jumped at supersonic speed and closed in to the shithead while making my way through the shattered stained glass, flying all around. I raised my fist and threw it towards his mug. But instead of getting the expected feel in the face, it felt like I just pumped mist. Same as it was back in cutting, and like 3 days ago my attack didn't work. Not only that, he countered you? I was also subject to and to blown away by some power I didn't understand. The ones that were close to healing opened up again. Feeling as my body was being torn apart, I looked at him through distorted vision. What the fuck? Oh. Why he looks like Ren? I mean, not like Ren, but also like dark skin and like red hair. It's like Claudia, he's like power source now, like he's just like going to drink her blood all the time and like powering himself up or something. Is she actually became like his familiar now or something, like slave? How powerful is he at this point? So, just because Claudia is like so pure basically, and she's a light, she can like power up him somehow, like what's the reason for his like power up sudden from like drinking her blood? I find it quite hard to understand. Would be nice to have some explanations.
子が親にまがいものが本物に、そしてノアの子孫がメトシェラに勝てる道理もないだろう。もとよりお前のごとき若造は全く問題にしていない。所詮私を間違った形で信仰している無様な贋作ではないか。
Yeah, now he basically tells Bey that you wanted to be like Methuselah, so you were chasing basically me. With cloud in his hand, Ludwig rose to the air. His cloak spread out like wings and melted in the dark, in a way that I couldn't even see where it began. His own face and hands too took the color of darkness. He and it became one and the same. Surrounding dark was him, much like Limb. It reminded me of a certain concept. Yeah, that's what I said, right? Like, he can be like transcendence because he can change into vampire. So he doesn't have Evocate, but his like initial arcane power that made him a deity basically works like a transcendent. And this is his creation figment, so it's third degree actually. It's Bria in terms of Evocate. So basically he turns into darkness. Like element of dark. Okay. For something like that though, it had an absolutely large scale. As I gazed at him floating in the air, it felt like I was just seeing a humanoid shape on an extremely huge giant. In fact, even that comparison was too weak.
なんだそれは。お前たちの陳腐な理屈で私を
Okay.
測るのはいい加減にやめてもらおう。闇は闇。そこにあるもの。開闢から存在する世界の裏で。それが私だ。
Can we defeat him with light? Like, if he's a like transcendent type that basically became shadow, and basically like, there's like, it's bigger than it should be. So I think like his power is basically to become shadow and blend into other shadows. So if we delete other shadows, then we delete him, right? We even do this somehow. Like it's night, so we cannot like bring in sun or anything. So we are kind of on disadvantage here.
ゆえに
And we cannot use third degree as well, like Bey cannot use it because it would kill Claudia. That's kinda messed up. The man claiming to be dark slowly rose up and pointed at me.
せめてお前が求めた夜の技を見せてやろう。クラウディアを私に引き合わせてくれた例もある。格を知れば、二度とその鮮慮な夢で世界を汚すこともあるまい。
Suddenly, a torrent of black blood burst out from each and every one of my body. What the fuck? I couldn't even tell what he did or what he did or what happened to me. However, I could clearly feel the dark gift begin to fade. Helga was screaming too. What? All the magic blood that made Wilhelm Ehrenburg into Kaziklu Bey was being squeezed out by the hands of darkness. He can like take out Evocate out of people? Like the Akner Beres? What?
知れよ。吸血鬼など幻想に過ぎん。
What kind of bullshit power is that? I felt as if my desire, ideal pride and conviction was being crushed along with it.
お前は人だ。人として生き、死ぬがいい。世界が終わる日も近い。
How did he survive this? He turned around, clad in the whirling darkness. I couldn't just let the fucker go. I extended my hand but couldn't reach, raised my voice but barely made a sound. I felt my craving, all that I was, leave my body with my blood.
さらばだ。
He gave me one last look before breaking through the cathedral ceiling. I looked up as my consciousness faded away. I was left alone, all alone under the sky, and not even the light of the moon could reach me. Wait, did he just turn Bey into like normal Wilhelm?
共に行こうか、クラウディア。
What is happening?
我々二人だけの天地へ。
Did he lose all his powers? How did he get them back? What? Okay, that's actually kind of cute CG if you think about this. Like, Claudia is like just sleeping. Like, he's like soaring through the night, I guess. But yeah. Also, there's no no bloody neck, so cool. Oh. Ludwig whispered those words while showing great consideration for the unconscious girl in his arms. His expression and tone were fatherly, making it hard to believe he was acting cold towards Wilhelm mere moments ago. Then again, perhaps this was his true self. Whenever the case, it quickly changed again. He furrowed his brow for the moment before forming a cynical grin.
とはいえ、 そうだな。面倒なことはごめんだが、そのためにも釘を刺しておかねばなるまい。
Okay. That's actually kinda cool. He turned his head and began flying towards a certain place. His speed wasn't particularly great, and most likely because he was being considerate of Claudia. Even if he wasn't fast, however, there was extremely great abnormality going on around him. As Ludwig flew, the world night moved along with him. It wasn't a problem with the movement and placement of celestial bodies. It was much more absurd and terrifying. The shadowy regions themselves became akin to animals and accompanied him. No, the expression wasn't appropriate. After all, he was the darkness, the lord who dominated half of the world. Even then, the idea only applied when he conformed to the concept of day and night. Actually, darkness could be born anywhere. Even when there was sunlight or artificial lightning, anywhere the light was blocked would become a domain of Methuselah. Caverns, dense woods, the sides of buildings, even the shadows cast by animals, humans included, were no exception. Therefore, the extraordinarily vast Black Kingdom that began moving was actually all part of Ludwig's body. He was a dependent of God, personification of the aspect of nature, born through worship of the dark in the long-gone age of mythology. He was a divinity who bore something of the weight of the current law, one who existed to keep the world running as it was. There were many of his kind in the past, but as the original began to die, dark and weakened, making them return to nature, as such, he was the only one left, so everyone else became elements, basically. He became Methuselah, and still possessed a will, because he was most akin to the one of God, as unyielding as his parent. If Ludwig were to purposely unleash his immense power and move as he pleased, the effect of that would be obvious. All the darkness would be torn away from the regions where it was far too early for morning to come. They would become the emptiness, where neither light nor shadow were gained, and then vanish. Due to the fact the world could crumble if he merely let go of all his restraint and traveled around the globe. Of course, he had no intention of doing so, but there was no denying that he was an entity capable of such destruction. Okay, so Methuselah actually is like Methuselah stronger than Reinhardt. He's not stronger than Mercurius, but is he stronger than Reinhardt? I think he is. Right? Methuselah is number 2 in Dies Irae. It seems. Even after like Reinhardt like evolved to 4th degree basically and have Atzilov, Methuselah still is stronger, right? Like merely just traveling is like he's traveling in his 3rd degree basically, and he can like basically destroy the world. Maybe actually 4th degree of Reinhardt is similar, because when he emanates, I mean, yeah, it's after emanation. Emanation doesn't count. I mean, it's basically becoming God. But in general, I think like Methuselah is stronger than Reinhardt, right? What do you think? Let me know. And so he arrived at his destination, wielding the might of his dark divinity. He looked down on Wewelsburg and spoke with a booming voice. Half of the oath. Okay. Though Ludwig's voice was haughty, he held Claudia tenderly and sincerely. He flaunted his duality, as if it was the proof that he'd acquired the light he so craved.
お前たちのことは忘れない。私からやれるものは何もないが、せめてお前たちの未来を祈ろう。邪魔立てもせんと約束する。
Also, by the way, from this perspective, Claudia, like from like just like head and hair, looks kinda like white-haired girl from Fata Morgana. I don't know, like it kind of looks the same.
ゆえに
He was Methuselah. His very existence was an ancient miracle that surpassed even magic. His gaze, his breath, gaze, and even words bore arcane powers that upset modern common sense. The fact that the king's voice reached the squirming darkness, that was his dominion, was the ultimate proof of that fact. He could be heard not just by Karlkraft, but the others, Klaus and Fangs of the Obsidian Table, as well as everyone else within the night. Fully aware of that, he solemnly continued.
私の邪魔もせんと約束しろ。
A moment later, half of the world felt the pressure of the densified darkness. People feared the dark, being born with eternal instincts. They saw places light couldn't reach as of the worldly. Even those such as Wilhelm, who adored the night, weren't any different at their core. They revered it exactly because it was fearful and tried to gain its power by extolling it. Wondering though, just a single night worth of darkness was deeply disturbing. That was both a truth and a law. And yes, even a single night was enough. Ludwig, however, was the oldest entity in the world, one who'd lived for eons.
私の安息を妨げるな。
Okay?
残る半分。終わりの日まで伴侶と添い遂げることこそ我が望み。無粋な真似をすれば容赦せん。
Are you trying to threaten Mercurius? Seriously? Thousands, millions. He was a being made from years of dark nights, so countless seems infinite. It's only obvious what would happen to the comparably short-lived creatures of the Obsidian Round Table if they touched by the fraction of the Methuselah.
死を与えるぞ、小僧ども。
The abyss would be so hard to bear that it would shatter their mortal minds. Ludwig's downright divine pressure made the half of the world focused around Europe turn to abject panic. Numerous people committed suicide or went insane. Was engulfed by the surge of darkness and nightmares that would plague them and their children for years to come. What the fuck? He could be literally like on the throne at this point. Like literally this guy could be just like just take the place of Mercurius and just be a god. What kind of BS power is that? What a power up, holy shit. It's found art that was said to cause madness upon merely seeing, hearing, or reading it, while many of the fetuses still cradled within wombs were turned into albinos, children of Noah. What? It was the moment when everyone was shaken by the darkness of Methuselah. There were only two exceptions. Yep.
最後の神秘か。なるほどな。
Reinhard and Mercurius, huh?
相変わらず無縁だぞカール。要はこれこそ K の意図したものであろうが。
Fun, isn't it, Reinhard? Still sounds bored. Reinhard Heydrich, he sat on his throne, chuckling in mild amusement. A joyous expression on his face. Okay, he liked it.
否定はせぬが、さていかがする？もしやお気に召さぬかな？
Karlkraft. He bent his mouth in jest, swaying in the Mercurial manner. The dark pressure didn't scare the two one bit, but the former expressed it longly and latter with clarity. It filled them both with amusement and lament. They acknowledged Ludwig's power and thanked him for it, but they saw the phenomenon completely detached from the concept.
ああ、まだだ。 まだ基地が張れん。
Yeah.
あなたもだろう、黄金よ。
So you know how it will end, huh?
怒りの日は依然遠く、故に当たり前といえば当たり前だが、相応に手間をかけた点を鑑みれば落胆を禁じ
Yeah,
得ない。
so it's a fun event, but you know how it went.
羨ましいな、メトシェラよ。お前は満足したというのか。であれば。
The gold momentarily paused and looked up at the emptiness above, as if to peek through the castle's ceiling and look directly at Ludwig.
こちらの満足にも付き合ってもらおう。我々にしてやれることは何もないと言っていたが、そんなことはあるまい。なあ、御身、メトシェラ殿よ。
Ravensburg suddenly began to shake. The legion within accepted their master's will and raised the war cry. Sikhal granted us victory, Sikhal Victoria.
私はそれを壊したことがあるのだろうか。
Jesus. Methuselah gangster until Reinhardt like bring his Nazi soldiers. What the fuck? His life was destruction. His overflowing hegemony, charisma, made the castle take its true form. Oh! Oh! Oh, we are back with the skeleton. We saw the hand of the skeleton before as well. When like Isaac been like using it, he just grabbed Sakurai and dusted her basically. That's actually cool. That's really cool. So we are going to have Reinhardt versus Methuselah? That was all the reaction Ludwig gave in response. A mere breath. There was a hint of admiration, shock and disgust in it. It was like it didn't make him feel anything. In fact, he was surprised, and his recon was abnormal nevertheless.
お前か、ハイドリヒ。まったく罪深い男だな。水銀の夢につながるという舞台道具。なるほど。確かになかなかの役者だよ。
Methuselah just like see what it really is. Like everyone is just a pawn and actor for Mercurius. What appeared was a skeleton the size of the mountain. The way it showed only its upper half and supported this of its arm, made it look like an undead that just crawled out of the realm of the deceased. That comparison couldn't be more fitting. The skeleton had appeared after Ravensburg swelled up. It was comprised of millions of souls. In a sense, this was hell. It was an army of those who perished in war, and place of strife where they'd killed each other for ages to come. Grasheim was definitely a hell, and that was but one of its forms. It was war, repulsive, fearful, but shining with brilliance of gold. Some might call it a manifestation of the humanity's malignicity. Not even a dependent of gold was capable of handling it with ease. After all, they were almost the same. Therefore, there was something abnormal about Ludwig's ability to maintain his refinement and aloofness while facing with this hell. Perhaps it was his pride as Methuselah, but he even felt a hint of pity towards the army of war demons. Who can win? I have a feeling like... I don't know, I still think like Methuselah might be stronger. Like, I don't know why. But on the other hand, Reinhardt is called a beguiling light. Can his light and his lance heal Methuselah? Probably can, right? Hard to tell. I really cannot tell who would win. Like, probably Reinhardt, right? I mean, Methuselah is not in the game, so he lost, but who? And how? Oh. The fuck? Is charging some laser? He kept his composure, even as the skeleton's large palette opened up and began gathering more heat than a nuclear bomb. Oh, fuck.
私は言ったはずだぞ。邪魔はせんから邪魔をするなと。
Yeah, that's the point for Reinhardt. He just wants to have fun.
戦いたければよそで好きなだけやればよかろう。
いいな。
Yeah, no one else is worth fighting right now. The moment the power was about to be unleashed, a voice thick with anticipation rang out from the core of Glatzheim.
兵が良い。もとより死の仰せ。
Opening performance. Methuselah is merely the opening.
最後の神秘は我々だ。
Since when he can firing his laser? What is happening? A rising hole of strife, the destructive surge of energy became a golden beam that could reduce a country to ash.
愚か者めが。
Even so, Ludwig remained unfazed, and because of that, the destruction didn't occur. Okay, he just turned to darkness again. As though he were all a consuming star of darkness, the light penetrated him and disappeared. No, that was wrong. What? See, I said Methuselah is stronger. God fucking damn it. I just cannot believe it. I tried to, like, I don't know, make Reinhardt stronger and stuff, because I felt like he should be, but my initial thought of Methuselah being stronger was actually on point. Jesus! Poor Reinhardt. A month later, I mean, he's fighting literally deity right now, right? And Reinhardt at this point is still just a human. A moment later, accompanied by the heaven-shaking sound, Glatzheim's frame was shot into the air. It was caused by its own attack, coming back to it through the shadows beneath. How? All darkness and shade were akin to Ludwig's palms. There was nothing surprising about what occurred. For him, it was literally as simple as breathing. It was an equivalent of inhaling, nose and exhaling through mouth. Wow.
もう分かったろう。これが最後だ。
Like, Mercurius, like, wouldn't that be easier to have this guy trying to, like, defeat you and destroy you? Wouldn't that be easier? The three looked down on Glatzheim, which had collapsed due to its own attack. He knew full well that it was much like a test of each other's power. The hell hadn't lost a single soul yet. Okay. But that didn't bother him whatsoever.
私を追うな。興味がないのだよ。
Well, Reinhardt does. He turned around and left, dragging his darkness with him. No hesitation, he headed for the north, the land of his ideal.
やられましたな。
ああ、まったく素晴らしい。
Despite his enemy getting the better of him, Reinhardt's visage didn't display a single hint of anger. In fact, he felt the opposite. It gave him great joy, and he felt Ludwig worthy of his prize. Therefore, his next course of action is obvious.
追うぞ。総員出撃用意。
Okay.
あれほどの神秘。ただ女人との安らぎに口当てさせるなどあまりに惜しい。私が救わねばなるまいよ。
I must go save him. I guess with your love and just like killing him then, right? The word came from his very core. He honestly believed that love was destruction, and thus that war, the clash of destructive powers, was the true supreme heaven. The value system of his was unshakable, and only expanded with each new opposing ideal he consumed. And that was exactly what made him a hegemony.
ではそのように だが一つだけよろしいか。
皆まで言うな。もちろん残
A
る。
reminder of what? If they were to fight Ludwig again, there was something that simply had to be done beforehand. Reinhardt nodded, fully understanding what he meant. I don't. I mean, you have to do something with his darkness because he will just like redirect your attacks, right?
こたびの立役者へ、まずは褒美を与えねばな。
Lead actor needs to be rewarded, okay? What do you mean? Like, who's the lead actor? Like, Bey? Oh? I felt a drop fall on my cold body. Yeah, I wonder, like, Bey lost his powers, right? Are they like going to give him his powers back or something? Well, we'll see in the next episode, I guess. I don't know how long this episode is. It's probably longer than usual. I'm not sure. I cut a few times. Maybe it's just as usual. Anyway, Methuselah is just like, Jesus, how do you fight this? How did he lose? Did he even lose? What if he's like still alive in this era? Like, I can imagine basically Ludwig being still alive in this era, just like not having appearance anywhere because he's just like doing his own thing somewhere in the war, just like living. I can totally imagine that. But like, Bey means nothing basically at this point against Methuselah. He could like fight maybe like Ludwig, but like Methuselah, no way. Like even like Reinhardt, like they just like tested each other, and with this test, Reinhardt lost. How do we deal with this? And poor Claudia, god damn it. I don't quite understand the power system between Claudia and Ludwig there. I know it's because it's like he's craving or something, right? That he wants to have a soulmate and the light, and that's what gave him power. Should I just accept this as the answer? I think I should, right? It's just like, yeah, I want light and soulmates, and that's why I'm so strong, and I drink blood of light. So I'm like light and darkness, perfectly balanced. I don't know. Maybe you have better explanation in the comments. So yeah, thank you everyone for being with me. Leave up a like if you liked the episode, subscribe for more, check my Discord, and become a member if you would like to support me and see the episodes earlier. Thank you once again, and for no Pocket Watch, let's going out.